put it out there and plead with the Black community if they can all come out and we put our head together and fight as one instead of fighting against each other. That will be great.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode where we talk cycling with Almost Elites. Thank you so much for all the love you've shown us. Please continue to push those comments. We do read them, and hit subscribe to the channel. Today, we're speaking to an entire power factory producing watts and watts and watts. Ephraim Aklamati, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for having me on the show. And it's such an opportunity, and I'm obliged. And yeah, I'll say big thanks to you guys when you contacted me to speak about this interview. So I'm grateful.
Awesome stuff, Ephraim. I mean, let's get to know you a little bit where cycling is concerned. You know, tell us a bit about yourself, how long you've been cycling. Tell us about the type of rider you are, or perhaps what you enjoy, whether it's climbing, whether sprinting, or, you know, just being a domestic. And then also, lastly, we're also interested in some of the cyclists that you look up to amongst your peers, and perhaps some of the professionals abroad and locally. Let's get to know you.
Well, I don't know if I've got much to say, but I'll say you guys know me a lot already. But in terms of years of cycling, I used to cycle back home. I'm actually from Ghana, and back home in my youthful age, I cycled. I mean, we did Tour de Ghana and to a certain level for about almost 8 to 10 years. And then, you know, when life happens, then I quitted and, you know, got back to South Africa and actually got a wife here and got married here. So that's how I got stuck here. And, yeah. So I went back to cycling, let's say way back 2018. Actually, I picked up the bike again and started to cycle again. But trust me, the first 6 months was very hard. When I say very hard, I believe you guys understand. If you leave that bike, you know, when you can't even do an 18 average. Yeah, it was very hard. And then, just kept training and well, obviously I knew the route. It's all about spending more time in the saddle. Without that, you never progress. And then you build up the base before you get into the intensity part of it. And yeah, that's small of my story. So when I'd say probably I'm about 5 years now again back into cycling. So yeah. That's my small story.
Yeah, man, tell us, what do you enjoy? Are you a sprinter? Are you a climber? Are you a domestic? And who are some of the guys you look up to?
So I'm a pure sprinter. I actually learned how to climb, and more of a roller, but a pure sprinter actually. And in terms of the professional cyclists that I look at, I'd say I look up to everyone. I wouldn't say I've got specific names to mention, but I can mention just a few. In terms of saying locally, I'll mention this guy who rides for UAE team now. I'm just trying to recollect his name now.
Ryan Gibbons.
Ryan Gibbons, that's correct. And I mean, Ale Philippe, Eli Viviani, Thomas De Gent, Filippo Ganna. Well, but I think I love Filippo Ganna a lot because we are almost like same build. And when you talk about watts, power to weight ratio, it's my main key.
Yeah, but that produce 500 watts.
Actually, but that's actually cool. You know, I've ridden with you and I saw that cup and I'm like, this man means business, you know? So you didn't have to tell me. I knew, I'm like, this guy is a sprinter. And I'm always keen when it comes to the training that someone who, for instance, does tours and is a climber versus someone who's an actual sprinter. So I'm interested to know from your regimen, what goes into your training and your nutrition as a very strong sort of sprinter. How do you approach training?
So normally I would say that my training structure is more of building, breaking down, and I would say the whole of the past 2 years I've been on coaching programs like fully. Only this year I've refrained a bit just because of some few difficulties in there, but it's always good. I always tell the other cyclists or guys who are a bit closer to me that it's good. If you want to perform, you need to have a structured program. You need to have a coach who monitors what you do, and not just any coach, a coach who is willing to ride with you and see what you're doing on the road. You're doing it right or wrong. It's able to do the program with you, stuff like that. So I personally, I would say, if I'm preparing for a race, nutrition is key, and interval stuffs are key. And also depending on what kind of race you training towards or what's your main target, what do you want to achieve in such a race. So there's a lot of factors which you need to look at. Even the kind of weight you want to be at to perform in that race. Sometimes you realize a race which is about 1,200, 1,300 meters of climbing of 100 Ks, if you check the profile, you might end up maybe your weight needs to be, I'm a big guy, normally I'm between 84, 85, but now I'm about 88 because I'm not training hard and trying to get more fat so I don't feel too cold. So yeah.
So speaking about the climbing, I mean,
yeah,
know that you did the Maluti.
Yes.
Can you tell us, how hard that was for you and the team?
Actually, the Maluti, I would say I enjoy. Well, I've ridden there previously, so I know the terrain. And like I said, I'm not a climber. I learned how to climb. And once you learn how to climb, you enjoy the climbing. So let me speak a bit about our Maluti. So briefly, just in brief, we started with our 12-member team, and well, the weather was very bad. The wind was a bit hectic. I'm sure everyone could testify that. But we also had a bit of a casualty where we lost one of our rider just in 7Ks. I think he was either not having a good day or and then I mean the whole plan or the whole objective just turned a bit, and we had to use, I would say myself and other 2-3 guys had to take more rotation in front. Someone like Peo Bokomo, if I'm pronouncing the surname correctly, Andrew Frashin or something. Sorry, I'm just trying to pronounce the surname properly. We were the main key to take huge rotation before getting to Castell, and also trying to manage other casualties who are still trying to warm up, because the weather was very bad. And I personally, I don't do well in the cold. Like I mentioned, that's why I'm trying to I'm doing it intentionally to gain weight, because I struggle when I ride in the mornings. So yeah, but we did well. I think we got to Castell, if not mistaken, just under 3 hours or just 3 hours, which was good. But from Castell, we lost time, because we lost just about 10 or 15 Ks to Castell. One of our guys also had a cut-off tire, and the other guy also was a bit not feeling well. So in Castell, I'll say we lost 3 riders.
So what was the plan? What was the plan on Maluti? Was it to finish 6 man strong, or was it to finish with as many teammates as possible?
So the plan was for us we were aiming for time to do a 5 hour, 20 or 30 minutes, and finish with as much as possible, all the team, if possible. That was our main target, because we'd done a lot of training and all the guys were in form and everything was well. Like, I would say all of the guys were in top form, but that's the thing with cycling. You come race day, you don't just expect anything can happen, because you might be strong, you might be fit, you might be anything, but come race day, you might not perform. For some reason, I'm still trying to understand the logic behind that. Because there are days you just perform supernatural. You ask yourself, I mean, where does it come from? There are days, no matter how you try, no matter how you try to even attack or just stick to the punch, it's just hard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe you guys or other guys might have more scientific logic over it.
We wish you're not that scientific. Yeah. Well done on that. I think you guys had, a very impressive results there. Very, very impressive. Let's take it more on the solo side. A few weeks ago, you did the Joburg Classic. Very, very impressive result there. In fact, you made podium, and I was just blown away by that by that result, man. You've got so much power, man, and I'm actually surprised and even more impressed when you're talking about weighing 88 kilos. Tell me, man, how was that race, and tell us how you ended up on that podium on the day.
Honestly, that race is one of the races I never planned for. And I just went and raced it. Actually, to give you the why I tried to do that race was I broke my old bike. I cracked the frame, the Cipollini, so I had it replaced. So with the new bike, I hadn't raced with it. So I just thought, you know what, let me go try that race and see how the bike performs, because I always love Trek. For some reason, I've been with Trek, and look, it's all about what your preference is, but you can't keep one bike for long, because I believe the more you ride the bike, the weaker it gets. And yeah, so I went into that race not 100% prepared, like when I did the Houghton Champs earlier this year and stuff like that. And well, it was a bit tough because the wind was a bit hectic, and the participants were a bit not a lot. I think they combined the 30 to 39 and then the 40 to 49 together, because I think with 40 to 49 was about, if I'm not 25 or less than 30, and the same as the 30 to 39. So they put both of us together. And normally for me, when they put us together, it's like, now we're racing 40 against 39. That is how it looks like. It doesn't become just the 40s to 49 anymore, and makes it a bit hard, but it was and the other funny part was, let me just put it, I know we haven't gotten there, but just to bring this point up, I wish most of my age category, or I'll say the black guys, should come out in such races. I mean, just train, show up in numbers in such ways, and we support each other in the bunch, instead of just letting the white community dominate the races, because it helps seeing your fellow, native next to you, and you guys can share ideas and even, team up together or come up with a plan. And cycling is not one man's job. It's a teamwork. I've been there many times. No matter how you try, being strong, mind, whatever, you get broken. Because it's like having one broom and many brooms together. If you try to break one broom, you break it. But if you put a lot of brooms together, you try to break it, it never breaks. So I'll just try to put it out there that my fellow Black natives should try and, represent us, join us. Let's join forces and do such stuff in the license category, 30, 39, 40, 49. even 50, 59. And it doesn't matter what team you ride for. As long as you're training, when we meet at races, we must put our head together and, form something. Make a good part of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. It's such a heartwarming thing when you look around in that start line and you see familiar faces and you're like, this is going to be a fun ride. It's hard.
Exactly.
It's going to be fun. So I definitely agree on that. So
yeah,
like you're saying, man, congratulations on you on that race, on that podium. It's such an accomplishment, that few people get to sort of reach. What I was interested in that race, because back to your point again of saying, you had a bike change. So on that kind of bike, I've always been interested as a sprinter. What's your setup on that bike? What's that crank setup like?
Okay, I ride at 53.39 and then 11.30. And that bike, it's I always prefer the aero bikes because then I'm a tall guy, so I love the wind. You put me anytime in the wind, I'm happy to sit in front. But so it's more aerodynamic, and it's now I've got more like a more all-rounder bike, which is it's a climbing bike and it's a bit lighter also. And it does what I want it to do for me. And I would say, like I said earlier on again, each one and what they prefer to ride. And you need to have a connection with your bike. You need to let me use it this way, it's like having a wife or your child. If you don't have that connection, that bonding, then you will not enjoy cycling as much, to say. So, yeah. That race was tough, not to mention it was very tough. There was just after Hegford, there was a little climb. I think normally the Mogales, if I'm not, the Sleepy River Classic starts from there. There's a small drag there. So some of the guys almost got me dropped there. And if I was not... Thanks for, like you said, Watts, or being strong-minded. I would have also dropped up with them, but I had to close up, jump them, and get into the going peloton, and just survived. So those are some of the things.
But was it a bunch sprint, or was it a breakaway win? So how did it play out at the end?
There was a breakaway win. There was a breakaway, which was mainly earlier on. It was the Honeycomb guys, and it was the 30 guys. So with the 40 guys, we don't. Well, the guys who are raised with, no one was following. So when you're alone, you just sit and follow. You don't do anything crazy because all that energy is needed at the end if it comes to sprinting.
Yeah.
And so what I did was just follow, not just to go try and attack or try to show you've got some power or try to break out, because like I said, if you're alone in such situation, there's no way you can break away. No matter how strong you are, they'll bring you back. Unless the peloton allows you to go then for some reason. But and there were a few breakaways, but we brought them back. And towards the end, there was, I think, about 15 to 20 Ks to go. Then there was just attacks upon attacks upon attacks. I'm not sure if they were trying to drop me, because we started 3 black guys, then it was left with only 1 black guy. And these white boys, when they attack, then they keep watching back. And I was last but 3. I don't know who they're looking at. If they want to check if I'm dropped, or if they check if someone is dropped, I have no idea. But I wasn't, so like I said, I wasn't sure if they wanted to drop me or who they're looking to see if he's dropped. But anyway, it was a fun day. And the training, like I said, the training pays off. Once you're strong mentally there, you've got a bit of experience, and just follow the right wheels, and it all comes to play well. And
fantastic stuff. Ephraim. And in the interest of time, I want to give the last thoughts, some justice here, because I know you feel very strongly about cyclists, particularly in the Black community. What's your message? I mean, you've touched on it a bit earlier on, saying that we need to come out in numbers and form our own bunches and support each other, irrespective of what club you come from,
Yeah.
So what's your message? What's your views? What's your thoughts, for the Black cycling community? What do you want to share?
I think I've said enough, like you mentioned earlier on, but I strongly suggest if we, the Black community, can really put forces together, we can see most of us a lot being on the podium instead of seeing a lot of the white community dominating the podium. Because from my past, for the past, 4 years I've been racing, I see a lot of Black cyclists, even ladies, little ones, but you see them once in a while and they're more of like, I don't know if it's just for the fun of it or being casual, or I don't know why they cycle, but for interest sake, we all cycle for different reasons. So for example, it's cycling is not just a excuse me to say, a white man's sport. It's everyone's sport. And there's a lot of potentials in the Black community.
Yeah.
If all these potentials can be put out there, I think we as Blacks, we will get somewhere. Because if you don't find the talent, if you don't spot the talent and you try to bring it out and polish it, no one will see it. So I'll put it out there and plead with the Black community, if they can all come out and we put our head together and fight as one instead of fighting against each other, that will be great.
Yeah, so I think that's brilliant words that you've mentioned, and I think a lot of people are scared to say what you're saying, right? I think everyone's thinking it, but no one is really saying it and coming to the fore and actioning, right? So I mean, some of the initiatives that we've tried to run is like the Wafa Wafa, which you took the yellow jersey on. And speaking of which, are you coming to defend it?
Well, I'm gonna come and try. I haven't been in, I wouldn't say I'm not in good form. I'm training, I'm riding, but not like intensive. But definitely I'm gonna be there. But I'd love one of the young guys to take it this time. But they mustn't make it easy for us. Otherwise, we're gonna take it again.
No, looking forward to seeing you there, man.
But I'd love one of the young guys coming to take it. So we'll see.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Thank you for your time and thank you for your wise words today.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you on the road and riding with you.
Definitely.
And to our viewers, thanks again for the support and continue to support us. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, guys.